Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good whatever it may be whenever you're tuning in. But thank you for tuning in to the Brunch Gimmick here on Love Wrestling. Hammer that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Yell vigorously at the follow. I don't know what we're doing anymore. It's been a long couple of days for all of the right reasons. I'm very excited to be back here, though. Full disclosure, I woke up like 25 minutes ago. So we're working our way in. We'll get there, but it's been a great couple of days, and it's going to be great to close out a weekend chatting with the two handsome gentlemen you see on screen right now. Lawrence.
Yo.
I think we're setting new records for consistency in brunch weeks in a row appearances. See, like I told you, working my way in. That was not eloquent at all. Usually I'm pretty good at it. It's good to see you, brother. How are you doing? How is what looks to be an orange Fanta?
It is not. It is I think a new product, a Tropicana Refresher. It's like strawberry, I think, like mango and some other thing.
Is it like a juice or is it like an energy beverage?
It's a juice.
Okay. So like an apple juice consistency or a welcome to our wrestling show, an apple juice consistency, or is it like a thicker, like an actual Tropicana consistency?
It's more like a Tropicana. It's like a regular,
like
Oasis.
No, I'm interested now. That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've got my two coffees right here as usual, but I only made them about 20 minutes ago, so they're still a little too hot to drink. Tom Talks Rubbish joining us again today. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping on. It's been a hot minute since we've seen you on this side of the Love Wrestling screen. Welcome. Good to see you, brother.
Thank you for having me, my friend. Like when you messaged me and said, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fun." I've never worked with Lawrence unless it was on my channel, and you and I always have fun.
I like to think so. It's good to see you, and good to see you, Omar, in the chat. Tom does do fantastic interviews. I highly suggest you check out his YouTube channel, which will be in the description below when I actually retype it. Like I said, it's been quick. 10 likes and you'll power through a migraine to be her. Zach, you should just come hang out regardless. It'd be nice to see you. As I'm sure you guys can tell, my voice is a little bit gone today. We had a little bit of an event last night. Had a little bit of a show here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. West Edmonton Brawl was the coolest thing that I think we've ever done as a company. I'm just going to come right out and say that. This and Rogers Place, I keep going back and forth on because it's been so cool to have the opportunity to run these venues. I've got recency bias for certain, but yeah, last night was something special, you guys. Dustin, good to see you. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being there through pretty well everything over the last couple of days. It's been wild, you guys.
Yeah, like just the visuals of it were amazing. Like seeing the full crowd, everyone circle on top and like the balcony, like all the way up top, watching the rest. Like it really, really made me happy to see how like the amount of people who were standing there watching, a lot of people taking in Love Wrestling for the first time, and hopefully are going to come back for shows coming up in the next few months. Like I'm very excited for the future of LPW. This was a huge show.
Yeah, I'm psyched, man. Like it was pretty cool to see. Like you said, a lot of people who had never seen pro wrestling before. It's still something that I think is a bit of a struggle, to be honest with you. Is like still overcoming, you know, a lot of the stigmas that the Attitude Era did have, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
So to like see people seeing pro wrestling for the first time and just, you know, knowing what we do with Love Pro Wrestling, seeing it, you know, done at its best. I hope we can have more fans fall in love with this thing because, man, we work in the coolest possible industry out there. So stay tuned. That'll be coming to IWTV. I was absolutely psyched with all of the matches. The triple threat elimination match with Gigi Ray, Nicole Matthews, Jasmine Allure, absolutely fantastic. I loved getting to see the West Edmonton Mall crowd experience a scramble match for the first time. I am so happy that is the match that went out there first. Eli Surge, Canadian Goose, Lumberjack Larry Woods, obviously just some incredible characters. Getting Rich King, getting T.Y. Jackson, and Dean Richter in there as well too. Like, what an unbelievable match. And can't wait to do it again. So stay tuned, friends, because we're gonna be doing some cool stuff on that end of things, including, as announced last night, coming in January, and will be officially announced this week, we are returning to Rogers Place for the Oil Rumble 2 King of the Rink. That'll be in January. Stay tuned for news on that end of things. But I'm psyched. Indie wrestling as a whole is absolutely fantastic. Well, just wrestling as a whole. Like, even Lawrence, you and I have chatted about this. Getting to see Slammiversary and that sort of stuff in Montreal.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom, you've got a little bit of an event coming your guys' way in 7 days' time. Wrestling as a whole is so cool right now. Tom, are you going All In by any chance?
No, and I hate my life at the moment because my dad.
Don't say that.
No, because when I've told you the story, you'll understand. Because my dad he's not a wrestling guy, and he saw a commercial because he's a sports guy, on sports TV of like,
Okay.
You didn't tell me this was happening. If we'd made plans, you could have gone. I was like, I know. I wish I had.
Yeah, and then you don't even get the chance next year with. I'm assuming they're only doing All In Texas, like as the one-time event. I think they've announced, or at least semi-confirmed, that they're going to be going back to the UK in 2026. But man, I am so I would at least hope so. I really wish that. I said this actually.
All I would like is a Dynamite, please.
Well, I guess they're doing it in Wales, right? So I guess it's not really the same thing for you guys. Because they've got one coming up in
the equivalent. But that's like the equivalent of you guys driving to, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's a drive.
Yeah. No, that's because that's in Cardiff as well too, where I think Clash at the Castle was a couple of years ago. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what travel's like over there, to be quite honest with you. I've been to England a couple of times, but I've never done Scotland or Wales or like any of the rest of the UK. So I don't really know what it's like over there, but I'm kind of surprised that they wouldn't be doing a Dynamite in like London or something like that on the Wednesday night beforehand. But anywho, what are your thoughts on All In moving to Texas then, Tom?
Selfishly, as I would have planned to have probably gone next year, now that my personal life is a bit more sorted, I'm gutted, but I understand why they're doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what is it, Lawrence? You'd know better. You're a football guy. I know that football's a sport. Tom doesn't even think we're talking about the same football right now. How many? How many seats are there in Gillette Stadium or wherever they're going in Ireland? Oh no, it's baseball stadium.
It's a baseball stadium.
Right. No, I've been wrong before. I corrected myself. How many seats can they fit in there? Would you know offhand?
I'm not sure. I think 70 something, maybe more than
Sick.
that.
I love me a stadium show, man. Again, I'm not. I understand why they would have done it, but I really think that they're missing an opportunity to really plant a flag in the UK. I think, to be honest with you, that this is going to lead to. I think that this is going to lead to a WrestleMania in London. Like, obviously, there have been the rumors. They met with the mayor of London. What was it, couple of months ago? Triple H and Nick Khan did.
Oh,
but
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, I would think that this would have to be another reason to maybe push it forward. Is if you've got the opportunity, and maybe not a WrestleMania in 2025, but major pay-per-view, or maybe sort of take some of that market share. I don't know.
Give us the Rumble, please. I'd like that.
I think London would do well with any pay-per-view. I really do, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
they did great with what was it, Money in the Bank last year?
And on like a personal level on this side, I love an afternoon pay-per-view. Like, I'm so excited.
Right?
Next week is going to be like running through the morning and the afternoon.
Excuse me, you lot are not allowed to complain about late pay-per-views.
I'm not complaining. This isn't early. It's literally in the middle of the day for us. It's perfect.
This is
It's
us
really
saying
like-
that a good situation is even better.
Yeah.
No, but you understand what
a
I'm
good
saying.
situation for Lawrence and I is even better. No, I love it.
You
I am
understand
very
what
excited.
I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I can be selfish on this one. Yeah, I'm very excited on that end of things. I love me a breakfast in bed and wrestling pay-per-view. Like, there's nothing I love more when they what was Backlash started at, I think, 7 a.m. for me. Because I even benefit a little bit more than you, Lawrence, just again to be very, very selfish with the thing. Yeah, and cards looking good. I'm very excited for All In. I don't know if I like the title versus career step for Brian versus Swerve.
That's weird.
I think it kind of telegraphs it. I think it kind of telegraphs it for me. I don't think that they're going to close it out with Daniel Bryan not. I think Daniel Bryan's going to win the title and then lose it back to Swerve at Wrestle Dream.
No.
I think that's the easy
Bray
play.
hangs it up.
Yeah.
You think?
I think that he's going to win it. I think he's going to win it. Why am I stuttering so much? Oh yeah, lack of sleep. I think that he's going to win it. I know that Daniel Bryan doesn't want to be anywhere near the title scene, but like, you know, as weird of a comparison as this is, neither did Sting, but it's not like Sting didn't win the championship to close out his career. I could definitely see Daniel Bryan, especially with the fact that Wrestle Dream is October 12th, so it's not like it would be some huge industry-defining thing. Like, give Daniel Bryan a relatively short run, or Bryan Danielson, excuse me. I still do that all the time. Bryan Danielson, give him the title for 2-3 months. Have him lose it back in Seattle as his final full-time career match, or Tacoma, excuse me, to Swerve, who's also a Washingtonian, Washingtonite, a person from Washington.
Yeah.
He is another person from Washington. Yeah, I think that's just perfect, because then you can still go through. You can have Daniel Bryan versus, I don't know, marquee match A, B, or C. Darby Allin maybe, because Darby Allin I think is going to beat Jack Perry here. Do Darby Allin versus Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. Swerve versus Hangman 3. Swerve builds himself back up, because like he's working heel in this, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Build him back up into being like a true babyface, big babyface win in Seattle. Rah rah rah. Daniel Bryan finishes his career. Bryan Danielson, damn it.
I honestly, I don't think it's telegraphing it that much, because like I can
Somebody
also
hit me.
see it. Like, even though they did put a pay-per-view in Washington, he's still going to be with the company. Like, he can still show up there. He just might not be wrestling. That's the thing.
No,
Like,
and I think so. No, and why would you do that? Why would you just tease them that much with, "Hey, Daniel Bryan's here, but he's not wrestling"? And if he loses, for me, a career versus title match, and then 3 months later is back in the ring, like that's kind of a cop out, right? Hey, Parrish, thanks for hopping in, friend.
Will it?
Yeah, I think that would
think-
absolutely be a mistake if you like. Daniel Bryan can't lose this simply so he can wrestle in Washington.
yeah.
I don't know.
Take the title
Do you
even out of
think
it
when
completely.
Daniel Bryan does, I've just done it again. When Bryan
I'm sorry.
Danielson
No,
does,
it's my fault.
when Bryan Danielson does hang it up, he will be what Shawn Michaels was supposed to be, if you know what I mean.
No, see, I number one, I'm a Brett guy, and number two, I think it's apples and oranges. I don't know, because by my money, but like, and I again even say this as a Brett guy, like Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson is the best professional wrestler ever, like wrestling wise. I think Shawn Michaels had a charisma that was just so not even like, he was just so one of a kind as far as that goes. He was so unique, and obviously both could wrestle very, very well. I think Daniel Bryan, like I said, is the greatest of all time. It's not as though Daniel Bryan doesn't have any sort of charisma. We've seen his promos even here over the last couple of weeks. But I think they're apples and oranges. I really, really do. It's a good problem, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. My point was, does he stay retired when he says he's retired?
I think he's going to do independent dates. He said he's going to probably do like the local, like Seattle. What's the company that's in Seattle?
Defy. Daniel Bryan on Defy would be
he's
just
going to do Defy dates, like stuff like random ones where he's just going to like walk out of his house a few blocks, show up to do a match, and then like go home. But like he's not going to be a full-time wrestler anymore. Like he might show up in an AEW show, but like he mostly just wants to be home with his family. Like he wants stuff that's nearby his house so he can spend time with his daughter.
Yeah, which is completely fair. He's like, it's even wild to think he's 25 years in.
Yeah.
It sometimes doesn't click because for a lot of us, I think WrestleMania 30 was like yesterday still. We just had WrestleMania 40, right? So it's pretty wild to think that he's 25 years in and he is near the end of his full-time career. Yeah, I just don't see a way that he's, when you're sort of thinking about it in storyline wise, like if Daniel Bryan is forced to end his career when he's already made his intentions clear, like, I don't know. He's going to end it on his terms and he's going to end it at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah,
I'm very certain of that. I don't know what I'd be willing to put on the line for it.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how you visualize the Undertaker's hand coming out of the grave. Wait.
Is that what I should be doing?
Oh my God, he's back from the dead.
Hi, Zark.
I wouldn't say I'm back from the dead, but I'm somewhere between living in the grave.
Not quite dead. Liminal state of existential crisis.
That's the turn of phrase I was looking for. Thank you, Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
Not quite dead, not quite alive.
It's incredibly exhausting.
That's almost. Oh God. I'm gonna have to listen to. I've got to learn a little bit about how the world works. How you doing, Zach? Should we be talking a little bit quieter? How's the migraine?
No. I've got a couple extra strength Tylenol flowing through me. I promise this anecdote will cycle back to wrestling, but I was. This little migraine I'm fighting is by my own fault. I was up late last night playing video games. I got the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and I unlocked a costume for Drax. And it was like, oh, this looks cool. I'm going to go through that. And he's doing a cut scene where he's sitting down. And I'm like, wait a second. Does that say BITW on his trunks? So I go back to the costume select menu. It gives you a little write-up about it. It tells you the first appearance of the costume. And sure enough, the writer of this costume, CM Punk.
No way.
Yep.
Unbelievable. That's super cool.
Oh, always, Zach. It's great to finally meet you.
Yeah, likewise, Tom. That's one of the reasons I wanted to at least power through, at least for some of the brunch, to say hello. You've been a great supporter for Love Wrestling, welcoming our company in a bit of a revolving door scenario on your show. So I just want to say on the record and such that I really appreciate that. Cheers, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We were just chatting all in, Zach. Excited?
All in.
How are you feeling about it?
Very excited. I overheard the Bryan Danielson talk. It's going to be bittersweet one way or the other because I also am enjoying Swerve's reign. Also, man, have you touched upon Tony versus Mariah May yet? Because man,
about to.
No, I haven't yet.
That's like the rivalry of the year, man. I mean, like at least it's in the top discussion.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. Like
I couldn't agree with you more. Sorry, Lawrence, I cut you off.
No, that's definitely the match I'm like most excited for from this card. Like legitimately, I am mostly like Tony Storm is for the last few months been the top of her, like since the character change, been the top of her game. Like best work of her career is truly like going like being able to slip from like this heavily comedic sort of role to this like heartbroken so like angry. Like it's still like it works so well with like the drama of everything that's going on with her and Mariah May. And Mariah May is just amazing. Like that turn was so done so perfectly. And like working with Tony has been just perfect for her. And I really feel like there's gonna be like a lot of like the Rockets getting strapped to her. Like she's about to become a big star for AEW.
You could feel the air sucked out of the room because that was like the end of the Owen Hart Cup. That was in Calgary. I was lucky enough to be there for it, and you could just feel the air suck out of the room when that turn happened. It was unbelievably done, and like it hasn't slowed down from there, which has been pretty cool. I loved even last week there on Dynamite the like Mariah May's movie. You know, I thought she did fantastic with that. You know, they haven't slowed any momentum on this since the turn, which sometimes tends to happen when it's got, I don't know, what's it been, 6 weeks, 7 weeks in between that and an actual match itself. I'm real excited for that. Mariah May, I think, is going to be, like you said, Lawrence, a huge star going forward. Already is a star going forward. And like winning that title at Wembley is going to be absolutely nuts because I definitely do think it's going to happen.
So
Yeah, I
I
think I
haven't
agree.
seen the turn because I'm a clips guy when it comes to wrestling now. Are you saying that I should seek out the turn, essentially?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
I would 100% say that, and I think Zach would also agree with that.
Yeah, the way it was executed, and again, like we're talking a lot about Mariah May, but the way Tony sold that betrayal, like it wasn't just like, oh, she's selling the physical offense of being attacked by her, but she's selling like the heartbreak of her friend betraying her in the fashion that she did. She was like just, oh man, a lot of nuance in what was going on. And again, Tony Storm is probably one of the top gets from WWE, in my opinion. Like, man, just there was so much untapped potential, and I don't know if like Tony Storm would have ever had the opportunity to pursue this timeless character that she had a lot of heavy-handed in like creating. And man, if we had not gotten that character in the wrestling landscape in the last 2 years, we would be lesser for it.
Yep.
I think she would have if under Shawn Michaels. I'd have loved to have seen that in NXT.
Yeah, but like I think the reason it works is because, to no one's surprise, one of the main writers behind it is RJ City. Like he has been the one, like orchestrating a lot of it, coming up with the old. Like the man is a encyclopedia of old Hollywood.
Guy's not
knowledge.
even all elite.
Yeah, not even have a graphic and doing all this work.
He's not even all elite, Lawrence. How can he be
which-
helping with the writing?
Which is something I bonded with RJ City on Twitter because I was never given a Love Wrestling graphic. The same time, like everyone got one at the same. Like that was brought on with me, not me. Me and RJ City are the same.
I am
City
looking
and
it up. I am looking it up in my Canva projects.
Oh, I'm excited. We're getting the live call out here. This is great. We've been really stirring the pot lately, I guess. Well, I should say now we're stirring the pot, but Pluggo and JPJ have been stirring the pot there with Kimmy and Jose and Sean and all those sorts of guys. Just keep me out of it. I wasn't there. I would have won though. I will just put that one out.
Well,
there.
like last time when you stirred the pot with Sean?
Yeah, no, never would do that. I
Oh, no,
never stir the pot with
you
Sean.
did, I
Sean's
was
never stirred the
there.
pot with me. No, never would happen. I reject the premise of your question.
I was there.
I reject the premise of your question.
Or was it just a very drunk hallucination?
I reject the. Oh wow, we're getting a live call out here.
Where is it?
Did he do it? Did he do it? Aha!
It was never used.
Oh sure, shift the goalposts now.
I told
Hold
you.
on. It's gonna load a picture.
I
Yes,
know
It's gonna
it's
load a
interesting.
picture any second now.
Any minute. Any
Oh,
minute.
hold on. I should be sharing this tab.
It
Watch it
can load.
not be my picture.
Sorry.
I'd laugh if it just had like placeholder. insert placeholder here.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a placeholder because as you can see,
Yeah.
it still has my Twitter handle and
Yep.
such over here.
I told you.
Zach,
dear.
please send that out.
Vindication.
Either please send that out or don't.
Yeah.
Whichever you prefer.
It's been 3 years.
Lawrence, please consider this our official company apology for not giving you a welcome graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And here you are with the opportunity to call me out on it on live air. So I hope there's something.
I'm glad you used that though. I'm honestly glad that Zach was confident enough to feel like he was gonna win that one. I was excited because for me, and I'm assuming here for Tom, as the viewers of this situation, it was only ever gonna be funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
ever gonna be funny for me.
It
No
was a
matter
bit
what
like-
happened. Because if
it was a
there was a
bit
photo
like-
of Lawrence there giving the thumbs up, I would have been just thrilled because that would have been posted.
That
It would've
night
been.
that I was on that stream with the beards with you and Sean, it was a bit like, I'm just here for the ride, dude. This is funny.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's usually the case as far as it goes with those guys. Sometimes, and that's why I don't go on beards often. Sometimes it's just fun to hear those guys talk.
Exactly.
Ha! Lawrence, you just schooled Zach. You just wrecked him.
I'm owning
I know. Good on you. Anyways, Brian, am I going to Survivor Series? That is to be determined. So that's a Love Pro Wrestling week. So I am going to have to just figure out some flights to and from Vancouver. And admittedly, after seeing the hassle, here's a fun little West Edmonton Brawl story for you guys. So we went out to celebrate immediately after the show, and a huge shout out to the Rec Room in West Edmonton Mall for hosting our post show. As soon as I sat down, grabbed a beer, finally able to relax after everything. 5 flights I had to rebook after West Edmonton Brawl last night. So Jasmine Allure, thankfully I should say, so Jasmine Allure was individual, and then Nicole Matthews, Artemis Spencer, and the Voros twins. They all are flying back to Vancouver. Their flight was rebooked for 5:30 this morning. They were supposed to leave at about 9:30. But so flight got canceled last night at, like I said, about 10:30. I had to rebook them on a flight at 5:30 a.m., which sucks. And they're just taking off right now. They've been at the airport since like 3:30.
Oh, brutal.
I hate flying at the best of times, but when a plane's delayed, that makes me even more like, yeah, this is why I don't fly.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
You posted it.
Yep. I just saw it. God damn it.
Let
Fuck
me
y'all.
Thank
Told
you
I
for
would.
leaving it exactly as is. That's
Yep.
that's glorious. Follow him at Smarkmouth. Yeah, so I'm hoping to go to Survivor Series, but admittedly, even the last like 24 hours, because it's an LPW weekend. So if, and knock on wood, if we are to do any media or anything like that for it, we would have to be there on the Friday morning, which is LPW nights. I don't miss LPW shows. So I'd probably have to fly out Thursday night, fly back Friday morning, fly out again on Friday after the show. Hey, I didn't even know that you guys were still here, to be honest with you. Lee's the He's. Goodbye to the Short Kings.
Kings,
Your
yeah.
victors
Are they
in your main
downstairs?
event. Yeah, your victors in your main event last night at West Edmonton Brawl, the intangible Short Kings picking up the victory over the Clandestine Society. I am so excited. I've only got the hard cam footage so far, but getting the opportunity to even just see that back has been absolutely wild. What a surreal night last night was.
Yeah.
What an absolutely surreal night.
I cannot wait to watch. I mean, like, Spencer, you're all, like, I'm not putting any pressure on you because I know you have like the lion's share of editing to do. But also, I've been very impressed with your turnaround time lately. So I'm just asking for feelers. when can we watch some WEB footage?
So this one will probably take a little longer, just on the fact that we had, I think, 4 or 5 cameras out for the show rather than our usual 3. So
Amazing.
it'll have to take like another. Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but also like will add to the editing time. So I'm going to say at least like a week. I would say I hope to watch one on brunch. Well, what time does All In start? We got to figure out what we're doing for brunch.
Yeah, no, all in starts at like 11, 12. I think goes live at 12 Eastern. So literally,
Oh,
right
so we
before
can do
brunch.
like a side watch
PM.
along.
Yeah,
or-
that's what I was planning.
Who's texting me? Oh, neat.
I think like the pre-show starts at like 11 a.m. Eastern, so 9 for you. Like,
Yes.
math.
So
So it starts
we
at 4
we'll
PM
figure it out.
UK,
I was
yeah.
I was gonna say we can watch one on brunch next week, hopefully, but that's not the case.
Week
'cause we
after.
probably won't be watching any wrestling. Bingo. But yeah, absolutely surreal. We've got an unofficial count of about 1,200 people, is what we were sort of told, between the people who were on the floor and then all of the people who were sort of up there around the balcony, which was very, very cool because obviously getting that many people to watch is just cool in and of itself, but the visual of having that many people surrounding it was so cool. It was so loud in there. You know, I don't know if any of you have been to the West Edmonton Mall. I know you've been to Edmonton a couple of times now, Zach, but I don't know if you've gotten out to the mall. But like the Ice Palace is quite literally like right in the middle. It's basically a main center of the mall. So like for so many people to be able to walk up, check it out, like it was so loud when the music hit for everybody. That Titantron that we had, and a huge shout out to Production World here in Edmonton for building that. Again, unconfirmed, but in chatting with one of their guys, apparently that is the same one that they use for like Monday Night Raw when they come to Edmonton, which is wild. The house shows, I should say, the actual, the TV ones are very different. But yeah, what a just surreal night.
Love that.
Oh,
man.
heading back to my place. That makes sense. There we go. Oh, I understand. Sorry, I apologize, Mars. My keys was off. That makes sense. He's messaging me right now. I don't think he's watching right now anymore. But yeah, we had just an absolutely unbelievable night last night. Absolutely unbelievable. So maybe if they're here, I'll get them to hop on. But now knowing what he's was, maybe not. Anywho, whoop-de-woo. Where do we want to go? What else is on the all-in card that we want to talk about? Britt Baker versus Mercedes. Is anybody...
Ooh.
I am very excited for the match. I think that this is one of the things I've found a lot with AEW in the past, and especially over the last few months, maybe, is like the matches are always going to be great, but sometimes like this just isn't hitting for me. It's just not. I love the pairing of Mercedes and
I
Camille.
would agree with that.
Yes.
I really, really do. I love Britt Baker as a wrestler. I love all of them as talent. It's just I don't know why this isn't hitting. I really, really don't.
Yeah, like
The match is going to kill.
Because
Like,
if we
again,
like
I'm not going to say
the world
otherwise.
would be
But
boring.
fair. That's very fair.
Yeah, I'm with
Is
you on
that
the pairing
a
of.
fair point?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tom.
I just said to Spencer, if we liked everything, the world would be boring.
But yeah, sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Jumping off your point there, Spencer, the pairing of Camille and Mercedes Moné is just brilliant, and I say so because I wanted to see it before it even happened, and I have receipts in which I say this would be a great pairing. As I was lamenting Camille not being on TV for months despite being allegedly signed to AEW. And again, they're delivering. They look great together. I get major Diesel and Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels vibes from them, and I think they've got lots to work with. Like you say, Spencer, sometimes creative is not really on par with the match quality that they actually deliver at the actual pay-per-views and special events and whatnot. I think this is not going to be any exception. I think that we're going to get probably Mercedes' best match in AEW to date, with the exception of perhaps the match against Stephanie Vaquer. I'm excited. I'm excited, but respectfully, creative has not really given me reason to be outside of my own expectations.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is one of the things I've found a lot with AEW in the past, and especially over the last few months, maybe, is like the matches are always going to be great, but sometimes like this just isn't hitting for me. It's just I don't know why this isn't hitting. I really, really don't. Florence, differing opinion?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I think, again, like, it's AEW's weird, like, self-inflicted wounds where, like, they get weird backstage stuff, which 100% was just two coworkers. It was just like a coworker disagreement in the back, like, and that gets blown up 1,000-fold
Yeah.
because of the internet, because everyone has their opinion, and it does like a weird thing for Britt Baker, who's just coming back, which is not fair, and it does take away a little bit from the match. But I think it's going to be a good match. It's just not like, it doesn't have the same excitement for me and same build as the other ones on the card. Like it hasn't been built as long as the other ones, as a lot of the other stories are telling. But like I'm very much hopeful that like Britt Baker and Mercedes can just pull out a banger here, and I feel like they will. Like that crowd's gonna fire them up.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm by no means critiquing the talent. I like them all, to be honest with you. But I don't like this. I think I can say the same too, to be honest with you. And Zach will probably pop on for this one when he can. Young Bucks, FTR, the Acclaimed. Some addition of that again. Hooray. Again, the match is going to be really good, but it's a point I'm somewhat stealing from Zach, to be honest with you. But like, it's odd that you're running back FTR on the Bucks in some iteration or some way, shape, or form again at Wembley.
Yeah, like, I'm not the biggest Acclaim guy, and like I love FTR. Like it's once again going to be like it almost seems like they're going with the safe option here. Like they wanted FTR on the card, they wanted the Bucks on the card. And they just like break glass because this is an easy match that will be not only kill time but be a fun thing, but doesn't like do much for anyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, I overheard what you said, Spencer. And yeah, absolutely. I tweeted the same thing. For a company that was like, there was a lot of, and promises are not worth very much when it comes to like your audience, but like AEW was founded with this promise of like really prioritizing tag team wrestling. And, there's been various degrees of success about that. But the fact that you run two of your biggest shows year to year in a row, and you're using two of the same tag teams in that marquee championship match, it doesn't say much. And, you consider that against what's going on with the Lucha Bros. I'm not a big Lucha Bros guy. I love Pentagon, and Phoenix is, he's very talented, obviously. But obviously a lot of people are upset that they seem to be leaving AEW, and I understand that. And, you pair it against this revisiting of FTR versus the Bucks. I mean, I think that speaks for itself in many ways.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, I don't know how much, like you say, because everybody seems to have a group, but, like, I don't think you'd say the same thing about, like the trios division by any means isn't something I'm a huge fan of right now. I don't like the way they've handled the trios titles over the last little bit. Again, I love me the Bang Bang Gang. I love me the House of Black, but I don't necessarily love where they've gone with them, right? I don't know, because like you even start to go back and you look and like Proud and Powerful, same difference, right? Like there's another marquee tag team that really, I don't know if they got the shine they deserved or again, deserved isn't really a word to use in pro wrestling, but the shine a lot of people expected them to, I think is a better way to put it. Lucha Bros, another. It seems a little backwards to say the least.
Yeah.
But Billy Gunn's on the card somehow, so we're okay.
Tom, what do you have you weighed in on this? I'm sorry, as you know, I was popping in and out.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I feel the same way you do, which is FTR and the Bucks is always a good match. The Acclaimed are fun for crowd pops, but like, why? You've got so many other tag teams that you could put in this spot. Like, we haven't seen the Bucks Lucha Bros since All Out 2021. I think I'm right on that. You guys are wrestling historians more than I am, but I think that's right.
I think that's right.
I think. don't think we've seen him since the cage match.
And like, yeah, I get that they want a big match for the tag team division, but like, man, if we're just revisiting it, why does it have to be a big match? Why can't it be, the Young Bucks versus, okay, names are escaping me now, but like, or even just like a 2-on-2 match with the Acclaimed. Like, let's do something that's different at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's all I've got as far as All In goes, to be honest with you. Like I said, I didn't watch a lot of wrestling. We had a little bit of a thing this week that I was a little focused on.
The coffin match could be fun.
The coffin match? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The TNT title.
Darby, Perry. That should be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I like what they're trying to do with Jack Perry, I think is the way that I'll put it. I just don't know if it's entirely clicking for me. I will also say, like, ending an I Quit match on threatening to light someone on fire. Like, what was that?
Babyface
Babyface.
Babyface things.
That's exactly it.
That's
Threatening to light people on fire. More baby faces have threatened to light people on fire in All Elite than heels. Eddie Kingston trying to light someone on fire. But see, that I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, cycling back to that one actually, because I actually got into a bit of discourse with someone about why is it different for Eddie Kingston. Well, Eddie Kingston lost because he tried to do something very stupid. Like that was like,
I think it's smooth. I think setting up people on fire is a way of definitely winning the match.
Yes, but again, it was the
be that as it may
wrong thing to do, and Danielson stopped him, and they lost the match to who was it? The Jericho Appreciation Society.
I think they can learn from the TNA and have more murder in wrestling.
Yes. NXT's finally getting there. I really like NXT stepping up there.
Lucha Underground is sugar, honey, ice, and tea.
Yeah, you will never need to convince us on Lucha Underground. Yeah, there needs to be more. You know what? There needs to be more, even just temporary death. I think that's even the way I'll put it. Eric Young, apparently not dead.
Yeah,
watch him get stabbed by Cody Deaner / Jeter. Like how many times? That was some Julius Caesar level shit, and just somehow Eric Young not only just shows back up, but he's just like, you know what? I'm going to show back up in Team Canada.
Yeah.
We're gonna ignore this for a second. We'll explain the death. But for right now, I'm just Canadian. Okay.
Just Canadian. This for a second. I've got time more important to do, if you know what I mean.
That's exactly like excuse the murder, but right now, I have to defend my country's pride.
Exactly.
My goodness, what a time to be alive. Yes.
One thing I'm looking forward to is he's my countryman, Will Ospreay MJF. I'm not gonna lie, I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be an excellent one. I'm very, very excited.
1 second.
Yeah. I'm doing it, guys.
Spray. I like his theme. Yeah. I like his theme a lot. You know what I would say? I liked Will Ospreay as a wrestler. Getting to see him on a couple of Dynamites there, did that little Western Canadian tour in May. And getting to see him a couple of times. That guy does have some like unique charisma about him. You know, he might not be my favorite promo a lot of the time. I think he's gotten a lot better on that end, or he's been not surprisingly good in a weird way.
I understand a lot of the references because I'm from the same hometown as him.
And that's also super fair. But I think Ospreay
his promos.
Well, and he's not, again, surprised always seems like it's got like a negative connotation to it. I've been really impressed with Will Ospreay's promos since he's come to All Elite, to be honest with you. And getting to see that guy live, like there is something different when he enters the room. There are just people with that. I know it's cliche to say, but like that X factor. And I think Will Ospreay's got that. MJF, you know what? I'm not normally a big foreign heel sort of thing. I think that he's walked the line really, really well with the character that he's played over the last couple of months. Especially compared to, let's just get real with the United States right now. Probably a lot more material you could have used. But it's been, I've at least enjoyed it, and I'm at least hoping that that this results in Will Ospreay winning it all in. I really do. I know that I'm suggesting like a lot of title changes here, but I'm just firmly of the belief, unless you can do something really, really wild storyline wise, even Solo Sikoa recently comes to mind for me as far as like disappointing moments that sort of recovered because of where the story went. But every single like hometown person, like I think is going to win on this. Mariah May, I think, should win. Give the hometown moment when you can. I don't know. I really hope Will Ospreay wins this. I've got a feeling that we're going to have one of these, as we always do in wrestling, where like either Ospreay's going to lose to MJF for like some heel heat, or Mariah May is not going to win, and I don't think it'll hit as hard for Tony beating Mariah while we're in the UK. You know what I mean?
I would rather see, if you gave me the option, and sorry, I interrupted you, Lawrence, I do apologize.
Oh, no, it's all good.
If you gave me the option of one of them has to win, I would rather see Mariah May win over Ospreay. Does that make sense?
Yep. No, that makes sense. I could see both. I could see either going. I think it'd
maybe
be more
they'll
likely.
WrestleMania 35 this, and we'll get everything we want.
I hope so. I don't think there's anything wrong, especially at like your biggest shows of the year, with like the proverbial send the crowd home happy or give the people like WrestleMania this year is an all-time great. And for the most part, the people that the crowd or the general fan base wanted to win won. There weren't really many matches where, I don't know, the unpopular pick won. Like even in Becky and Rhea, right? Rhea Ripley won as the heel. It's not like people don't love Rhea Ripley, right? Grayson Waller and Austin Theory won the tag titles, but the moment that people remember is R-Truth and The Miz winning the titles because the SmackDown titles were captured first, right? I think there's something to be said about sending a crowd home happy, and if you can get Mariah Mayo in here and Ospreay and everybody else, I don't know.
It's going to be a crowd.
I still think the only one that won't.
I hope it's a crowd pleasing event.
I agree. I still think Danielson loses and gives his retirement speech in Seattle.
No, I think he's got to win it, and I think he's going to lose it back to Swerve at WrestleDream, and WrestleDream's going to end with Daniel Bryan raising Swerve's hand, and it'll be a passing of the torch moment in Seattle, and everybody's going to love it, and then Bryan Danielson's going to start working Defy, and everybody wins. Like that's. Come on, guys. Again, send this crowd home happy. Send me home happy. I'm home. Make me happy.
I was about to say, question.
Happy. Keep
Are
me
you
in my
saying
house
this
happy.
because you're going to be there?
No, I would
Are
love
you
to
saying
be
this
at
because you're going to
WrestleDream,
be there?
No, I would really hope to, but it's the same sort of thing as when we were even talking there about getting to Cardiff. Like, it's a bit of a trek to get down to Seattle still, and I don't know, between some of the shows that we've got going on and some of the opportunities that I have for the other job that I work, I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing it. I'm not planning on it as of right now. If I go, it will be very much luck-induced. That's the best way I can put it.
Fair.
So, yeah, even this weekend, I've got Metallica coming this weekend for 2 nights, which is going to be great. And then show weekend next weekend, and then September is start of hockey season. So it's for all the right reasons, tough sledding time-wise over the next little bit.
What nights for Metallica?
The 23rd and the 25th. And they're doing their gimmick where, like, they're playing 2 entirely different sets every night. And Pantera's one of the openers one of the nights. And I think Five Finger Death Punch is the same night. So I might sell one night. We'll see. Pending what they play the first night, because that's when Pantera's opening too. So
surprise, we're just playing Saint Anger both nights. Suck it, nerds.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
You know what? That'll
Not
mean
even the
I'll
full album. We're just playing Saint Anger the song.
That's
for
what, you know
a
what?
few
That'd be
hours.
better. Play that rather than the full album. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the one song I enjoyed. It's the one song that at least it's like, all right, you're hitting the snare pretty heavy here, buddy, but at least this song doesn't suck. Play the solo. There are no solos. I'm going to listen to Saint Anger. You know what? I unironically tried to listen to Through the Fire and Flames a couple of weeks ago. Not bad. Not a bad song. Not good. Not bad.
What, by Dragon Force?
Yes, by Dragon Force. The very same.
Excellent.
It's a very weird song to listen to while you're not attempting to, like, button mash. Anywho, before we close it out, I want to shout out Bronson Reed. Dude rules. That is my only comment.
Yeah.
Whenever he's succeeding, I think of my interview with him and how good he smells. He's a good smelling man.
And a well-dressed man.
No, very well dressed man.
Yeah.
And he also was the one who brought up Shawn Michaels' shitty brown gear at Elimination Chamber. So that interview's paid dividends in a lot of different ways.
He did that the night after Quizplex where that was a question. It was just perfect. Serendipity.
Worked great. Worked absolutely fantastically.
Hey, speaking of Quizplex, can we...
Zach,
out?
look at us. Look at this. Look at this wavelength we're on. Ah. Yes, you may.
Yeah. Quizplex is back this Tuesday night, immediately after NXT. The champion, Miles Blackwell, looks to defend for the second time, become a 3-time champ, and he has got 2 very big problems coming for him. Dijak, Ben Bishop will all be competing for the Quizplex crown. Pro Wrestling Pub Trivia, played in support of the Trevor Project. Once again, the scoreboard is technically open. If you make a $5 donation to the Trevor Project, send us a screenshot. You can buy 100 points for the player of your choice before the game even starts. So keep that in mind. Come join us. Have some fun this Tuesday after NXT on right here on YouTube. Right here on our YouTube channel.
Is this the tallest Quizplex ever in a regulation game?
I think so.
Yeah.
I would have to assume the tag,
is,
the tag team editions, that sort of stuff. Obviously, having an extra person, but like a regulation edition, is this the tallest Quizplex ever? Is this our Meat Mania?
I think the Meat Mania that we had was actually a Halloween one when we had Phantom and PCO, and Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Yes, that was some meat. That was a meaty Quizplex. We've had some meaty Quizplexes.
But also
Quizplex I.
Plexes, I think.
Yeah, it's Suplex I.
Plexes sounds right.
Yeah, it's not Supply.
It's Plexes General, like Surgeons General. Oh, we got to run it.
Hey, there's a handsome man. You're just coming back from a trip, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still in San Francisco right now.
Oh,
are you at the airport?
Yeah, my flight got delayed an hour, so.
Oh,
did you hear our story about the BC cruise flights home today?
No, I didn't. What happened?
So last night after West Edmonton Brawl, I had to sit at the rec room at our after party and rebook 5 flights. So they got booked. Basically, the flights were 9:30. They got bumped to 5:30 a.m. and they had 5 flight delays. So they took off about 20 minutes ago.
My flight doesn't leave till like 2 p.m. here, but like you have to check out at the hotel by 10, so I had nothing to do, and it got delayed till 3:30. My connecting flight, I have a half hour now to make my connecting flight in Edmonton. So
worst case scenario, Blair. I got the guest room, brother.
Yeah, I may be shacking up at Casa de Love.
Oh man, we can go out and have ourselves a nice couple of pints.
So it's one of those things. It's what can you do, you know?
Well, airport bars are always open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So might have to go have 1 or 2.
Go make a new friend at the airport bar.
Yeah, exactly. So
everybody knows your name.
I hope so. Cheers.
Yeah, homie. Cheers at the bar. Sorry, I'm not trying to rush you out.
No,
please hang around.
That's okay.
That's Blair. Yes. Can you please get down?
I'm only sticking around because I don't want to leave and accidentally end the stream.
Who would ever do that, Blair? You know what?
Is there a story?
I'm not here to invalidate your concerns. Far be it from me to ever do that. But what I am going to gaslight in you believing, like, you're crazy, man. You're just crazy. You're crazy if you think anybody would ever do that. Gaslighting's not real, Blair. You're just crazy.
You're probably
Zach,
right.
I'm guessing Spencer did that once.
Oh yeah,
never.
Yeah.
twice.
Never.
Yeah,
Actually, never.
Oh,
never
really?
times. So I'll meet
Yeah.
you in the middle.
Times.
I'll meet you in the middle at once. I'll meet you in the middle and admit to one time, but I will never admit to two. I've never done it twice. Absolutely not. If you argue twice, I will say never. There you go. Plea bargain. We're getting a
That's what
plea
I
deal
said.
out of this one. Right? Never has happened.
Yeah.
Never happened at WrestleCon. Never happened at WrestleCon.
Speaking of Quizplex, I was at C4 on Friday, and I got to talk. I talked to Dijak a little bit about his upcoming game. He is not confident about it, but I told him this game makes no sense anymore, and people just buy it. It's like, yeah, I definitely did that to Manny a few times. Just to screw them,
Truly,
which is
you
one of the
truly
great
can
clips.
just buy your wins.
And I also
it's my
I
favorite.
talked to Pretty Wiki too, and I'm happy Blair's here because I literally he's like, just so you, the first thing he says, just so you know, I don't hate Manny. I'm like, but you do hate Blair, right? Yeah, fuck Blair.
So what you're saying is I should reach out to him to see if he wants to hop on the podcast.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you got a potential
Yeah.
guest.
Next logical step.
Yeah.
Uppers and downers. It's the logical next. I just watched Walk Hard 2 weeks ago, so that's all been in my head the whole time. It's not. Anyways, yeah. Tune in to the. It is the tallest Quizplex ever, Zach. We have to announce that now. That's the branding. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
We'll call it that.
Tune into that in 2 days' time, where we're inevitably going to upset the internet wrestling community. Quizplex has lore, you guys. We're a better booked quiz show than some wrestling promotions. The effort that goes into these. Do
Yeah.
we need help with questions, Zach? Do I have to write those today?
No. You, I got that. We're good.
I have to do ring crew in 2 hours. Is my next step. Quite literally, we were going to do it last night, and I said we're loading the vehicle, and that thing's not moving tonight. After we were rebooking flights, gosh dang, lutely not.
All right.
But what can you do, Tom? Thank you for hopping on, friend.
Yeah.
It's long overdue. It's nice to see
Thanks
you.
for
That rhymed
having me, guys.
unironically. Where can the people find you? How can the people tune into Tom Talks Rubbish?
So they can find me on Twitter or X at Tom Talks Rubbish. They can find my YouTube channel, Tom Talks Rubbish, where I have interviewed some of the greats in wrestling media, including most of these fine gentlemen. Me and Zach are trying to make it happen, but time differences aren't our friend, are they, Zach?
No. Usually, you don't catch me on Love Wrestling anytime in the morning or afternoon. This is a rare exception.
No. So basically, a lot of these fine gentlemen have been on. I've had many of the greats in wrestling media on, and it's just a lot of fun. Spencer was a recent guest. The Between Two Beards crew have been recent guests. And coming up, I have an interview with Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret.
Oh, awesome.
Heck, yeah,
Nice.
good on you, my friend. Thank you for joining, Blair. I know you've got so much to do in the next couple of minutes, so I'll ask
So
you
much.
next. Please take your time, letting the people know where they can find you, Blair, at the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast on all social media. And this week, when I get home, at some point, if I get home, I have to edit a podcast with the Prime Minister of Canada, Matt Viviani, which should be released within a
Fuck
day
you,
or
Matt
two.
Viviani. Command Matt in the
So-
chat.
So it'll get released as soon as I get home, if I get home. If not, then it'll just sit there.
Hey, man, if not, you got a place in Edmonton, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
He's gonna live a terminal situation where he can't. His province no longer exists, and he cannot leave the terminal anymore. Blair just
See,
Yeah,
lives there.
Winnipeg, actually. I'm
If
shocked you.
if you see my thing, it says starring in Terminal 2.
Yeah.
Winnipeg
Tom Hanks,
doesn't
what are
have
you
an
doing here? I'm from native Sokovia again. I do genetic accent.
Oh my. Toy Story 5 is really going to help him out.
Yeah.
Lawrence, where can the people find you, brother?
At Kurtze NDG on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm gonna start doing threads more. I think I'm gonna jump on the threads gang.
You're threading?
And threading through life. And you catch me here back next Sunday. Probably doing a watch along. We don't know. We'll see soon.
Honestly, we'll figure it out like
Yeah.
4 minutes before
Yep.
what the plan is. That's sort of the standard here now. Beards plan stuff, and then it goes off the rails. We don't plan anything, and it stays firmly on the rails of not having any rails. There is a difference. There's 100% a difference. Zachariah.
Oh, I've been
Zark,
on both shows. I can see the difference.
where can the people find you, Zach?
Find me over on Instagram, smart.mouth. I'm also doing threads. Seems my shit posts do very well on that platform. So
You're threading now.
I'm threading. I'm trying to get my promotional content to be on par with my shit posts, but there's still some effort to be made there. But yes, smart.mouth on threads.
Maybe I should be getting into thread, and I'm still skying, I think they call it. And if anybody needs a blue sky invite code, you don't.
Spencer has 400 of them.
I spent $1,000 to get those early.
Yeah.
Just come on.
Whoever sold those at the height of the blue sky boom, you done good.
Yeah.
Good on you. Make that quick bank. Friends, you can find us wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome contents created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA. Stay tuned to this channel. We've got the first ever wrestling show from the West Edmonton Mall Ice Palace coming your way, live from the Ice Palace into your eyes and ears on youtube.ca or com or whatever your country's end fix of choice may be. Anyways, tune in to Love Wrestling CA for all of that sort of stuff. Tune in this Tuesday as we present Quizplex, the tallest Quizplex ever. Bigger and better than ever before. There we go. Look at this. It's like I'm a marketing grad. Bigger and better than ever before. So please stay tuned for that. If you want to, get in, start getting donations in for your either Miles Blackwell, Big Ben Bishop, or Dijak on Love Wrestling. For me, you can follow me still on Twitter. I'm not hip and cool. At Spenny Love. I'm on Threads. Follow me there. Whatever. But thank you for supporting. It's always appreciated however you choose to with Love Wrestling. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, where's the countdown? I almost hit end. There we go.